What if I told you that the secret to becoming wealthy has nothing to do with how smart you are, and everything to do with how you behave? That might sound strange, but consider this. Ronald Read was a janitor. He drove a second-hand car, wore old flannel shirts, and used safety pins to keep his coat together. But when he died at 92, he left behind $8 million. Quietly, patiently. He had been investing in blue-chip stocks for decades, and no one ever noticed. Now let's talk about Richard Fosconi. Harvard-educated investment banker. Lived in a massive mansion with 2 swimming pools and a 7-car garage. At the peak of his career, he retired early, in luxury. But during the 2008 crisis, he lost everything. Bankruptcy, foreclosure, gone. One man had every financial advantage. The other had almost none. So how did the janitor become the millionaire and the executive go broke? That's what The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel is all about. How success with money is not a science, it's a behavior. Today, we're breaking down 5 life-changing lessons from that book. Lessons that could reshape how you save, spend, invest, and live. And stick around, because the final lesson isn't even about money. It's about time, freedom, and what truly makes life rich. Let's dive in. Lesson 1. Luck and risk rule more than we like to admit. Let's start with a humbling truth. You're not fully in control. Yes, hard work matters. But so does timing, environment, and pure chance. Take Bill Gates. He's brilliant, sure. But in 1968, he just so happened to attend one of the only high schools in the country with a computer. That single stroke of luck gave him a head start most people never had. Meanwhile, his equally gifted friend, Kent Evans, same dreams, same potential, died young in a tragic accident. As Morgan Housel puts it, success is never as good as it seems. Failure is never as bad. Luck and risk are siblings. And it works both ways. Think about Jesse Livermore, one of the greatest traders of all time. He made millions betting against the 1929 crash, but lost it all in the years that followed. Eventually, he died broke. So what's the point? Don't beat yourself up when things go wrong. And don't let success make you arrogant. Instead of trying to eliminate luck and risk, build a system that survives them. That means preparing for uncertainty. That means humility. And knowing that no matter how careful you are, sometimes life just hits differently. And the most important thing you can do is stay in the game long enough for the odds to swing back in your favor. Lesson 2. Getting rich and staying rich are 2 different games. Everyone wants to know, how do I get rich? Start a business, buy crypto early, flip real estate, take bold risks. But here's the question. Nobody asks, how do I stay rich? Because those are 2 very different games. Getting rich often requires big bets, optimism, risk tolerance. But staying rich requires discipline, caution, and a deep respect for the downside. Look at Mike Tyson. He earned over $400 million in his boxing career and ended up $23 million in debt. Or Sam Bankman-Fried, who built a $26 billion crypto empire and lost it all in a flash because he kept gambling, even after winning. Now look at Warren Buffett. He didn't make flashy bets. He didn't try to double his money overnight. He just kept doing the boring right thing for 70 years. And because he didn't blow up, he became one of the wealthiest people to ever live. As Buffett famously said, the first rule of compounding is to never interrupt it unnecessarily. It's not about making one big score. It's about avoiding the one mistake that wipes you out. So yes, take calculated risks to get ahead. But once you do, shift your mindset from maximizing returns to maximizing survival. Because in money, the winner isn't the one who burns the brightest. It's the one who lasts the longest. Lesson 3. Wealth is what you don't see. Imagine someone pulls up next to you in a Ferrari. You might think, wow, they must be rich. But all you really know is, they spent a lot of money. That's the illusion. Wealth isn't the car. It's the cash you didn't spend to buy the car. As Morgan Housel says, wealth is what you don't see. That's why Ronald Read, the janitor, became a millionaire. No one saw him investing quietly for decades. But they would have noticed if he had bought a flashy car or lived in a mansion. Here's a stat to keep in mind. Nearly 70% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, even many earning over 6 figures. Why? Because they confuse high income with wealth and spend everything they earn. Most people confuse wealth with status symbols, but those symbols are what deplete wealth, not build it. Let's break it down. Income is what you earn. Spending is what you show. Wealth is what you save and invest. And that's invisible to the outside world. This is why someone making $60,000 a year can retire early, while someone making $200,000 can still be living paycheck to paycheck. It's not about how much you make. It's about how much you keep. And ironically, the people who look the richest often aren't. Because truly wealthy people don't need to prove anything. They're too busy buying back their time, their freedom, and their peace. Lesson 4. The trap of never enough. Let me ask you this. How much is enough? If you just thought of a number, what happens when you hit it? Will you stop? Or will the goalpost move? This is one of the most dangerous traps in finance and in life, always chasing more. As Morgan Housel puts it, the hardest financial skill is getting the goalpost to stop moving. And the numbers prove it. Studies show most people believe they need 2 to 3 times their current income to feel rich. That gap never closes, unless you close it yourself. Housel tells the story of Rajat Gupta, a man who rose from poverty in India to become the head of McKinsey & Company. He sat on boards with billionaires and had a net worth of over $100 million. But that wasn't enough. He wanted more, so he committed insider trading. He lost everything: reputation, wealth, freedom, all because he couldn't stop climbing. Housel said it best: there is no reason to risk what you have and need for what you don't have and don't need. Let's be honest, we all compare. We scroll social media, see the private jets, the designer bags, the vacations. But here's the twist. When you see someone driving a Ferrari, you don't think, that person's amazing. You think, if I had that car, people would think I'm amazing. That's what Housel calls the man in the car paradox. We spend money to chase admiration, but admiration doesn't come from possessions. It comes from presence, humility, and peace. So here's the challenge. Define your own version of enough. Not society's, not Instagram's. Yours. And when you reach it, stop. Because the richest person isn't the one with the most toys. It's the one who can look around and say, I have everything I need. Lesson 5. Saving equals control over your time. Let's end with what might be the most underrated idea in the book, and what ties everything together. The highest form of wealth is control over your time. Forget the Lambos. Forget early retirement. Forget yachts. What money really buys, when used right, is the power to say, I don't want to work this weekend. I want to take a month off and travel. I want to work on what matters to me. That is freedom. As Morgan Housel writes, the ability to do what you want, when you want, with who you want, for as long as you want, is the highest dividend money pays. Here's the thing. You don't need millions to feel that. Even a 3 to 6 month emergency fund gives you options. It gives you space. It means a layoff doesn't break you. It means a bad boss doesn't own you. It means your time is not controlled by fear. Think about how different life feels when you're making decisions from a place of freedom, not desperation. Even saving a little every month builds that power. It's not about denying yourself. It's about buying back control, $1 at a time. So yes, build wealth. Invest wisely. Earn more. But never forget, freedom is the flex. Let's bring it all together. The psychology of money isn't just about dollars and cents. It's about decisions, discipline, and how you define a good life. So here are the 5 truths to remember. 1. Luck and risk are real. Don't judge too quickly. Don't play games you can't afford to lose. 2. Getting rich and staying rich are different skills. Master both. 3. Real wealth is quiet. It's hidden in your habits, not your purchases. 4. Enough is the finish line, but you have to draw it yourself. 5. Money's highest purpose is time freedom, not status, not stuff, but control over how you live. Because in the end, wealth isn't a number. It's the power to say no, the space to breathe, the time to create, rest, explore, love. The real flex is freedom. If this video opened your eyes, hit that like button. Comment below, what was your favorite lesson? And subscribe if you're ready to build wealth with intention, not just information. So the next time you think about money, ask yourself, am I chasing more? Or am I building a life that actually feels rich? Because you don't win the money game by out-earning everyone. You win by designing a life that's truly yours. This is Minecraft.